Hello and welcome. Today I want to do a comparison of the Creality Space Pi 4 versus the Sovol. Both of these are pretty new filament dryers. The Sovol just come out about not even a week ago. And the Sovol, I think the model number is SH03. I did an unboxing video on that. Did not do an unboxing on the Creality. It's been out a little while longer. There's plenty of videos on that. So the first part here we're just going to cover is the overall physical characteristics of each unit, how they compare to each other, size, dimensions, weight, things like that. So let's get to it. So first of all, the Creality is a little bit bigger overall. We'll try to, get exactly how much the difference is. And I'm going to try to go from the outermost dimensions the best that I can. And the Sovol is 14.5 inches in length, and the I would say 15 inches exactly on the Creality. And then we'll look at the height as it sits off of the Sovol is 10.5 inches. And the Creality is 10 and 3/4 inches at the highest point, which is in the back here. So let's look now at the width. Let me see if I can spin this around, and we'll do the width. And we'll try to go from the, from the hinge here. And the Sovol is 11, right at 11 inches, maybe a tad bit over, maybe 11.125, somewhere in there. So that's the length, the height, and the width. So let me spin that back around, and let's turn this one around. So we see how wide this one is. This one's going to be a little bit harder to tell because of the hinges being way up here, but I've just got to kind of eyeball it. It looks like it's between 11.25. Yeah, I would say 11.25 inches. So not much difference this way, even though it looks like it. But it's not as much as it looks. So another thing that I'd like to test to see is how much clearance do you need, to be able to open the lid. Obviously, if you open them all the way up, you can obviously see that the Creality requires much more space to open them, fully. But sometimes you don't have to open it up all the way to get a roll in there. So what I'm going to do is see how far do you actually have to open it to be able to get a roll in there. Yeah, this may be a little bit tricky here. So the clearance required to get the roll in there is, for the Sovol, is going to be about 14.5 inches is what you're going to be able to have to get the roll in there. as far as the total height of the lid at its highest point, looking at 17 inches for the total height. Now let's look at the Creality. These lids, they do operate on a different type of geometry, so they're not quite the same the way that they open. So let's look here. I need to make my ruler a little bit longer here. So see here, I can come down a fair amount. That looks like that is about 16, 15 and a half. Won't quite make it. So you're going to need about 16 inches to be able to get a roll of filament in. And of course, you know, if you want to open it all the way up, it's going to require about 20, almost 21 inches if you open it all the way up. So I think that pretty much takes care of all the dimensional aspects of it. So let's look at the difference in the weight. Oh, the power cords. The Creality comes with this 3-prong. It's not a standard computer power cord. It's a 3-prong. The Sovol comes with this 2-pin power cord. So let's see now which one, as far as the weight comparison, and then we'll move on to some other things. So let me see here. Let me get some room here and figure out which way is going to be the best way to set this on the scale. I think I'll set it on the back. It'll be the shortest. So that comes in at 4.978, 4.98 kilograms, almost 5 kilograms. Now for the Sovol, .48, 3.49. So considerably lighter on the Sovol. You can definitely feel the difference in the weight. Now that's without the power cord. All right, so those are the physical comparisons. I'll come back. I'll add a clip in here once I get both of them powered up, and we'll do a heat up, you know, just to see, look at the displays and compare those, and a heat up to see how quickly they both come up to temperature. This Sovol is actually going to be sent back. There is a manufacturer defect on it here in this corner right here. So it's being sent back no matter what, but I wanted to do a comparison while I had both of them here. So I'll catch you back up on the next clip. Okay, got it powered on. Unfortunately was unable to do the firmware update. Their website link is either broken or they've taken it down. Not sure what's going on with that, but anyway, I programmed in a couple of values on the thing, and we're going to start it up. To open the lid, you just basically push these to the side. You raise these lids up, give you a quick look inside. There's a couple of desiccant containers in there. Nothing too spectacular about that. The gasket material, it's kind of hard to see, but it's got a pretty nice gasket around it, and feels like it closes pretty well. So we'll close these up. I've got these both set 80 degrees on the left, and I think it's 65 on the right. So we're 1 minute and 25 seconds in now. I'm going to go ahead and start. We'll just see about how long it takes. I may edit the video to cut the time down if it takes too long. I think we're coming up on about 1 minute. That's about 2 minutes. You must have a timer on the display. So 2 minutes was about 50 degrees. Uh, 3 minutes, we're about 56, 57, 50, yeah, about 56 degrees at 3 minutes. We're at 4 minutes, 62 and 58. I didn't even check to see what the preset temperature was for PET-G. I would assume it would be 65 degrees, but it might be default to 60. Okay, I apologize for that. Toward the end of that last clip, my microphone battery died, so I'm just doing a voiceover on this. As you can see, right about 9 minutes, it reached 80 degrees on the left and 65 degrees on the right. There we go. Catch you with the next one in a minute. Okay, sorry about that. As I said in the last little clip, I had to uh, come in here and do a voiceover because I've already sent this unit back. And so right here, what I'm showing you is the gasket, how it compares to the other. Both of them have look like pretty good gaskets. The top snaps into place on this one versus the other one has sliding latches. You can see the damage down in the bottom left-hand corner of the display there. And what I'm talking about here is the display. It's not touchscreen everywhere like the other one. Only the buttons on the far right-hand side are the only parts that actually touch. I went ahead and pre-programmed in the left side for 80 degrees for ASA and the right for PETG. You actually have to have one side up and then press the play button, and then you can get the other side up and then press the play button, and that's what I'm fixing to do right now. So you see I hit play, it didn't do anything. So you actually have to select one of the channels and then hit play, select the other channel and then hit start. The other thing that I'm talking about here is it's got a line segment display. So if you see PETG, it's not real easy to read. ASA, you can read that pretty well. Some of the characters do not come out as well in a line segment display format. I think I do prefer the Creality display over this one. One thing I will say right up front here, and you're going to see in this video clip, is the Sovol heats up very, very quickly. I would say almost twice as fast, if not a little over twice as fast as the Creality. You can see right now we're not even 1 minute. We're at 54 degrees on the right hand side. So it does heat up extremely quickly. If that's important to you, it might be something to consider. I don't think it's a big deal. I mean, we're talking 8 to 12 hours of drying time, whether it's 4 minutes or it's 9 minutes. I don't think, at least I know myself, that's not a big factor for me. One thing that this display does show you that the other one doesn't is it does show you the set temperature. The other one, it doesn't actually, it shows you the current temperature, but it doesn't show you the set temperature when you're just looking at it. So that is one thing I do like about the Sovol. It actually shows you what it's set to and where it's currently at. And as you can see right now, we're 2 minutes and something, and it's at 70 on the left and 62 on the right. The humidity is also coming down pretty quickly as the temperatures rise, in which that's normal. On the right hand side, we're almost there. About 3 minutes, and we are at 64 degrees. On the on the left hand side, we're 77. We are almost there on the right hand side, very, very close on the left. I'm not going to sit here and bore you all the way through to the very end. I did actually have a timer running when this was going on. It was right at 4 minutes, maybe a little over 4 minutes to heat up to exactly 80 and 65. So that's about all I have for this clip. I'll come back in the next clip with some final thoughts. Okay, sorry about that. As I said in the last little clip. Okay, on this final clip here, I'm just going over and giving you some of my thoughts on the Creality and the Sovol. And of course, we're looking at the Creality here. Again, nice color LCD display versus the line segment display. One of the other things that I like about this Creality for my specific purpose is the way the lids open up. You can see I have a monitor directly behind there, so I cannot really utilize the ports in the back. I have to utilize the ports in the top of the lids for my filament. And when you open up the lid, it doesn't interfere so much with the with what's behind it as much as the Sovol does. The Sovol, the connectors were in the back of the lid, so when you open the lid, it's pushing up against it. So as you can see here, I can open it up plenty wide enough to put a roll of filament in there, and the tubes still being out of the way. I don't have them hooked up in this video, but I hooked them up later, and it's got plenty enough room to open it up, put your roll in there, and that doesn't hit the monitor in the back. The Sovol, the problem I had with it was I would have to pull the whole unit forward, and then I would have to raise it up. The other thing with the tubes being in the back is you have to reach your hand in there over the top of the spool to get to the filament to push it up through the PTFE tube. With the filament being in the front here, you don't have to reach all the way across the back. So overall, they're both good filament dryers. I think they both work well. I didn't have the Sovol very long because of the defect in it, and I ended up sending it back. And I do believe that the Creality will suit my needs better. We'll see as time goes on, as other people have them. We'll see how they compare. I did dry some filament with the Sovol, and it worked fine. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. As far as price wise, the Sovol had a $30 off coupon. I believe it was $119 on Amazon, and the Creality was $10 off, was $149. So not a huge difference in price for the features you get. The Creality also has some forced air that goes across the desiccant tray, which is supposed to help keep the desiccant dry in there as well.